such a time as this.
And welcome back to For Such a Time as This, the place where there is no such thing as a silent witness. A quick reminder, go to forsuchatimesthis.today. For such a time as this today. There, you can sign up for our email list, and you will get an email every Saturday with all our content that went on through this week. We will never, ever sell or give away the emails. It's just simply to stay in contact with For Such a Time as This. Okay, let's jump into it. Let's deal with President Biden. Want to highlight two issues that through his executive orders and what he is choosing to say. Look at seems like the two pillars that the president is focusing on. Here's the first one. How can I say this? Racial division.
Our focus will be on small businesses on Main Street that aren't wealthy and well-connected, that are facing real economic hardships through no fault of their own. Our priority will be Black, Latino, Asian, and Native American-owned small businesses, women-owned businesses, and finally, having equal access to resources needed to reopen and rebuild. But we're going to make a concerted effort to help small businesses in low-income communities, in big cities, small towns, rural communities that have faced systemic barriers to relief. Think of the mom-and-pop owner with a couple of employees who can't pick up the phone and call the banker, who doesn't have a lawyer, an accountant, to help them through this complicated process, to know if they're even qualified, or who simply didn't know where this relief was available in the first place. We went through this, Don, when we brought Detroit back off its knees.
If you are a black person, that's insulting, who don't have an accountant or a lawyer to help them through. Business owners, right? Business owners who have created a business, functioning business, who don't have a banker or a lawyer to call. What the focus is going to be on black and brown people, right? And he snuck women in there. Business owners who don't have the wherewithal to pick up a phone and call a bank, who don't have a bank or a lawyer. Black people don't know how to call bankers and lawyers. Black people don't have the wherewithal. I don't. What are we, morons? Who can't get to the information or don't know how to do it? What, black people don't know how to get assistance? Can't fill out forms, can't find out what COVID-19 relief is and where to get it? That's insulting. If you are a black person, he's basically saying you are a dodo and you need help. I don't see how you interpret that any other way. First of all, why do you need to distinguish that you? I thought he was the president of the United States to help all small business owners who have been hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. Why do you need to go down that road? Minority, black, brown business owners who don't have access to bankers and lawyers and accountants. Really? Okay. This type of rhetoric leads to racial division. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So he's going to continue to push this equity, not equality, equity. And for those of you from last week or maybe last week or 2 weeks before, I know the difference between equity and equality. One is good, the other one is foolish. Equity, equal outcomes, no. Equal access, equal opportunities, not equal outcomes. The lazy man should not get what the hardworking man gets, but it's fine. But if he continues this, you're going to create a vast number of whites who are going to, even if they're not going to verbalize it, they're going to resent what America has become because America is against white people. But that's President Biden. And here's the second policy that he has been faithful. Both of these clips are clips when he was about to take the reins. Now he's taking them and he is pushing forward. The second policy that he's pushing is the transgender issue.
So many of them. And so, yes, and by the way, in prison, the determination should be that your sexual identity is defined by what you say it is, not what, in fact, the prison says it is. And in that case, you should be entitled also to OGBYN. Anyway, you didn't ask that question, but you're not likely to either, I guess.
The prison cannot tell you whether you're a man or a woman. You get to determine that. It doesn't matter what type of plumbing you have. It doesn't matter what the chromosomes say. If you are a woman, don't you dare let anybody else tell you you are not a woman. If you think you are a woman, you are a woman. The prison and nobody else can tell you. The soccer association and the soccer team and the coaches on the soccer team and the school cannot tell you that the person in that blue-looking uniform, that little itty-bitty girl in that little yellow little uniform, that little girl is holding on to a woman. And don't you let anybody tell you differently. And that big woman in that blue uniform that's about to crush little 44, about to crush the little girl in 44, the yellow little uniform, that's number 44's fault. Because right there in the blue, that's a woman. And nobody can tell you differently. You a woman. And so what if you get to crush number 44? And so what? So what? Texas and the lawmakers file a ban on biological males from competing in women's sport. And don't you let anybody tell you the dude in that little red uniform, the one that's choking out that little girl in that maroon uniform there, you are a woman. And you should feel proud of yourself with the blonde hair, with effortlessly and with ease, choking out that little girl and wrestling. Don't you let anybody tell you, young man, that you are a man. If you want to be a woman, you can be a woman and you can take pride in choking out that little girl in a wrestling match. This is insane. But this is the leader of our country who was installed, certified by the Congress of the United States of America. This is what we can expect. This is what we can expect. A continuation of racial division and a continuation of insanity when it comes to sports.
For such a time as this,